Hello everyone, it's Prisms Collection Corner here, and today I'd like to start a brand new video series called Going Through Walt Disney Animation on Home Video, where I will be taking you guys through every single Disney animated film that I own on VHS, and I will be reviewing every single different print that I own, talking about some prints that I'd really like to get a hold of, or that I know about, talking about where I picked these up, what are the content differences, if there's minor content differences. Of course, I'm going to upload the previews on my other channel for most of them, so I will link those in the description down below, but I might still give you tidbits about major differences of like, oh, this 94 pressing is different to this one, and here's why. So today, I wanted to start with a film that came back to my mind recently. It's an animated film from Disney's Dark Age, and was the second to last step before, or really the last step before the Dark Age went overboard. Before Disney went too far and was forced to take a backseat and rethink things. I'm talking about 1981's The Fox and the Hound, a film animated by both the old and new animators at the Walt Disney Studio, and even a film containing Don Bluth and some of his friends' fingerprints, the team that would go on to make future animated films for their own studio. But, for now, let's just talk about The Fox and the Hound. Alright, so we're going to start with this copy of the 1994 VHS. This has the general artwork you will see. This is kind of the style they keep for all the prints, with Copper and Todd both on the cover. And you can see a Walt Disney classic. Now, I find it very ironic what films were given the classic or masterpiece banner. And I'll explain that maybe in another episode. But it says, Superior, a landmark Disney film, Joel Siegel, Good Morning America. And you got the tape itself, with a print date from January 16th, 1994. Now, this copy of the tape opens with the 1991 green FBI warning screens, and it contains a trailer for The Lion King, but it also includes a trailer for the upcoming direct-to-home video sequel, The Return of Jafar. Actually, this copy does not, because this is a earlier 1994 pressing. However, later editions do include that preview, and I will show you the ones I own that do have that. But I got this tape, I honestly don't remember where, because this was, I think, one of the more general versions I just picked up somewhere. This wasn't like one of the really special ones, or special circumstances I remember getting. But after the Green FBI warnings, the Lion King preview, and no Return of Jafar preview, there is the 1994 Black Diamond Classics logo. So, that's on here. And then I have another copy of this kind of pressing, with the same packaging, for the most part. But if I look at the video cassette itself, it contains a vertical dark green sticker label, and a print date from January 3rd of 1994. And this tape opens the exact same way. No Return of Jafar preview, but everything else. And you can see the film strip is in rather good condition, which is awesome. Next, I've got a later pressing of The Fox and the Hound from 1994. Well, as far as the tape master goes, this is a later pressing. More beat up, but it's still in pretty good condition. This one's printed on July 6th of 1994, and this one does contain the preview for Return of Jafar. The fact being that Return of Jafar was made, I think, in early spring of 1994, or at least that's when they started marketing it, so copies printed in, like, January did not contain the preview on it. But this copy is printed in July, along with the other ones I'm going to show you, so this does have the Return of Jafar preview. And apart from that, the opening is the exact same. As for the ending contents, all of these have nothing after the film. They just go to the static screen, after, just the normal black space between the static and the end of the film. This copy, though, is actually quite a memorable one to me. This also has a vertical sticker label, and a print date from February 3rd of 1994. So I guess this one does not have the Return of Jafar preview, but what's so special about this one? Well, for one, I want to say that the dark vertical sticker label that is green is a very rare occurrence. This is one that is actually very hard to come by. A lot of the other vertical sticker label versions are pretty hard to come by, but there was even a time where Doom, as he was known on the Disney VHS Museum Discord, he didn't even own a copy of this. For a while, he didn't even own a copy with a dark vertical sticker label that is green. The point being that this is even a hard version for collectors of that magnitude to even find. And I always took pride in that for quite a bit. But I also remember getting this copy at the ARC store in my town, the town I used to live in, when I was really young. And I think it was like one of those that they got out of the back for me, because a lot of the thrift stores back in my town, they knew me pretty well, so they'd let me go through the back, especially when I was younger. They'd be like, okay, here's some tapes you haven't put out yet. I remember that. I do remember that. Unfortunately, the ARC store is not where I live anymore, but yeah, I do have this copy still. And ironically, I also have another copy I got from the ARC store. This one I got in July of 2018, I believe. This is a horizontal white sticker label copy with a print date of, I think it's November 1st or January 11th of 1994. Now this tape, I can't remember how this one opens. I'm pretty sure this has the same contents as either version 1 or 2. I don't remember for sure if this is version 1 or 2. I haven't checked it in the VCR in a while. But I do remember the YouTuber not Defense Fan, Royce Tyler 345 having a copy of The Fox and the Hound with a white sticker label that went completely blank at the end of the film. That was completely messed up. I do remember that distinctly. Thankfully, my copy, as far as I know, works. And yeah, this is another really cool variation. There's a couple of these Black Diamond Classics releases with the white horizontal sticker labels. But yeah, very cool. Alright, next we have a very special release to me. This is one that I desired in my collection for quite a while. I kept seeing it on eBay. And my mom got this for me, I believe, back in 2020. This is the demo tape of The Fox and the Hound. This is the 1993 demo tape with alternate artwork. And you can see on the back, Disney's next spring classic to follow the tracks of 101 Dalmatians and Pinocchio, with some information on how this film did financially. Disney's $98 million classic. You can see the difference on the front cover of the artwork they were going with. So they did keep this main piece here. They did keep this on here. But the rest of it was not featured on the main home video release cover. And it says, echoes the dramatic moods and imagery of Bambi and Lady and the Tramp from Seattle Times. I definitely agree that it is dramatic like Bambi, but I don't think it's as powerful. And I don't know where they're getting Lady and the Tramp from, because from what I remember, that isn't a very dramatic film. Well, it is in some parts, it isn't in others, but here's the beautiful yellow sticker label. And the print date from October 12th of 1993. And this tape is so special to me, because it was a demo tape I had really been wanting, and it was so much more expensive than the demo tapes I usually get. And so just getting this for a Christmas present, I always value this release of the film on VHS. I always value this copy of the tape. And I really like this artwork, honestly. I do really like it. I love the vibrant colors. I think even more than what they went with, but at the same time, I think this artwork's more fitting. But yeah, I just love owning this on home video. Now, for how the tape opens up, it has the 1991 green FBI warnings, and then it has a preview for the film itself. And that was a trend with quite a few animated films on demo tape. With the live-action films, they end up putting random adult Disney films, Touchstone film previews on there. Like my 2001 demo tape of Noah has some very not family-friendly previews before the film for some reason. They're Touchstone titles, but I'm still confused why they're on there. But no, with the Disney animated ones, they mainly just put the same film that the demo tape is about. And so the tape previews on there. There's also the demo scrolling text saying that this is obviously like not for sale for rental, etc. I want to get more demo tapes. There's some really cool, well, any demo tape is cool, but I like getting the Black Diamond Classics ones. And the other day I was even looking at a copy of The Little Mermaid, but it's over $145. Not in my budget. But, depending on what I spend on this trip, if I have money, there is one that I might grab that I saw for a relatively okay price. But let's get on to the rest of the editions. So here I have the 1994 French-Canadian VHS of The Fox and the Hound. Now, I'm not going for Disney foreign VHS releases, really, because they're really expensive. I'd love to get more of them, but sometimes they're extremely expensive to ship. I'll talk about one at the end. So I'm not going for them, but I did find this at my Goodwill, and I was not about to pass it up. It is a really cool variation to find. This is literally the French-Canadian VHS of The Fox and the Hound. And I had no idea I was going to find this when I went to my Goodwill. Also, the tape is in great condition. I don't remember how this even opens, or if I've even watched this. I probably haven't, because it's in a different language. But I need to check out the previews, at least. I'm curious to see what it will have. And I will upload the previews to my Preview Vaults channel once I get that started up again. But let's take a look at some of the later releases of The Fox and the Hound, because in the early 2000s, Disney started the Gold Classic Collection. And with that, they released all of their animated films, not all of them, but a lot of them again. One of those being The Fox and the Hound. This is the 2000s Gold Classic Collection VHS, with the same text, the same quote at the bottom. Also a special bonus feature booklet on friendship inside with the video. So if I show you this, print date from April 2nd, 2000, and then the pamphlet. This is, yeah, pretty special. This in here basically is just a little cool pamphlet you could get. And in fact, I picked this up in Gold Beach, or Gold City. I don't remember what it was called, but I picked this up when I was out of town back in the summer of 2020. A long time ago. But I remember replacing the copy that I had of this, specifically because this had the booklet. Because, look, I can handle not having the pamphlets with a Disney VHS if they're just extras. I'm not going to rebuy all my tapes to have the pamphlets. But if it's meant to come with it, and I can find that for a good price, I'm going to pick it up. And it's also a really nice condition copy. Alright, so here's the 2001 reprint. Did I read the print date? Dark sticker label. Print date April 2nd, 2000. My mistake. This has a dark sticker label. Keep that in mind. This right here is the 2001 pressing of the 2000s VHS with a ink label and a print date from September 14th, 2001. This has the exact same tape contents, but the dark sticker label is an ink label. And then I have the 2002 reprint. So in 2002, there were a couple of the Gold Classic Collection releases that got a reprint, and that involved updated tape masters. This one's printed March 27th and March 6th of 2003. This tape is slightly damaged at the beginning. I had a copy that was worse, and I actually spliced. But basically, this has updated previews. Most notably, this has the Walt Disney Home Entertainment logo. So they basically have an updated logo because at that point they had basically discontinued the Gold Classic Collection. I think it only went to 2001 with like 1 to 3 releases. So any printings that were made later than that, they just switched the logo on it, but they didn't switch the casing. So that's an interesting thing, and I will upload the previews to that, of course. And finally, the 2000 Spanish release. US Spanish release, I guess I should call it. This basically has the same artwork, but no Gold Classic Collection banner. Print date from March 15th and August 6th, or sorry, March 6th of 2001. I have a memory of this tape. I remember watching this with my golden retriever Jack at our old place. One night, I just felt like watching it in Spanish, and he watched it with me because it had a dog in it. It was pretty cute. But, yeah, I remember that. Alright, so now that I've gone over my, let's see how many versions I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different versions of The Fox and the Hound on VHS. What are the versions I'm currently looking for? Well, I think I've pretty much got all the main ones. I'd love to come into contact with other foreign releases of it. Most notably the United Kingdom release. I know it would not play in my VCR because my VCR is NTSC, but I do find the artwork to be pretty nice. And I think it would be cool to just have the United Kingdom release, but I'm not going to financially put down $30 for a tape I can't even use, for just a foreign release of a tape especially, because I already have the film in English. I already have a US release of the film. I don't need the United Kingdom version. It isn't even what I'm trying to go after in terms of completing my collection, but I would like to get it. I also will put a bonus in here that I'd love to get the 2006 demo tape of The Fox and the Hound 2. That is a really, really hard find. If you go on eBay, that goes for like up to hundreds of dollars. At least 100 is what I've seen it at, so getting a demo tape of The Fox and the Hound 2, I was talking about $30 being a lot, $100 is a lot more. So I'm not probably going to get that one. I'll stick to my DVD copy of that film and the first film. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you can, watch The Fox and the Hound. It's a great Disney film, and I'll have a review out in the coming weeks. Bye!